Hello and welcome to Clydebridge Station, where you've got two little scratch builds there. We've got a scratch build there. Three's a crowd, four's a quartet then, because I've built something else. You may remember that I have a shopping centre along here, the Commonwealth Shopping Centre. It's a low relief shopping centre, and it was made out of a wee bit of balsa wood, and it was also covered with some Will's slate painted gold. Didn't look right at all, so I've replaced it with something else. That's what I've been building over the last couple of weeks. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn back in time and go back to the start of this project, and I hope that you enjoy this video. And if you do, there's other layouts to check out on YouTube. Dean Park Station and Everard Junction, which at the time of filming have both put new videos up, and there's also West Blyth MPD and Dudley Central, who are here on YouTube and on Instagram. And you can also check out the Scrap Line, which is Exeter Central, set in the Network South East era. Also check out the Worley Model Railway Club, who are here on YouTube, and why not give a check out to Scale Model Scenery here on YouTube, and from who have supplied all the bits for this shopping centre, or the vast majority of them. So let's turn back in time and go back to what was here before. So as you can see, this is where we're about to get started, and the problems are very clear. I've also got to try and do some of this bit here, and I've got to try and get this all level here. Now, the plan is it's going to be a two-tier shopping centre. I mean, like how we've got these buildings here, they're two tiers. One thing you'll actually notice though is that the buildings here are taller than the balsa wood. So that actually gives me an idea of what I can do and what I can't do with the shopping centre. Basically, I can't have it too big, but I can't have it too small either. So something a bit taller than the balsa wood will be sufficient. And as you'll see, the Scale Model Scenery grey board is obviously not as long as one width of balsa wood. So what my plan is, that is actually going to stay that colour, and there's a good reason for that, because it'll simulate the inside of the shopping centre, and we'll put some shop names on it and make a couple of windows. And that being a little bit thinner, I'm hoping it glues on. Now if it doesn't glue on, then obviously I'm going to have to pin it on. That's not a problem though, that can be done, and the pins will be hidden when it gets glued on here. The other main problem I've got, obviously, as you can see, is the rock face. That'll be sorted by using filler to cover over that bit at the end that's unwanted. So the first thing I've got to do is to dismantle this and get it off. Now, taking these bits off is the easy bit, taking the rest of it off is the very hard bit. But they are not going to be needed anymore, so they'll just go in the bucket. And also the balsa wood, as you can see, oh, there we go, it is off already. There we are. I'll make new signs up, by the way, later on in the programme. There's one bit of balsa, one or two of the pins are still there. However, I have to watch, because these pins are actually also useful for keeping on the insulation. So that's that off. So work will start on the next bit of the planning for the shopping centre, and we'll get that done. What I need to do now is get the right height for this and glue it on, and I'll glue it down a bit, so because obviously we've got the floor there of the centre, and we're going to have to try and simulate a wee rooftop car park type thing. There won't actually be a physical car park there for obvious reasons. So that's that, we'll go and get on with that. So there's the back on already, 2mm SMS grey board put on there. I had thought about cutting windows in, but I'm not going to do that on the backboard for the very simple reason, if I were to do that, I may get them in the wrong positions, particularly for making the floors. So what will actually happen is, because there's not going to be too many windows, you're not going to see much, I'll position shop names where there's windows, and obviously I'll just have to forget about the idea of interior windows on that view, as it will be the case anyway. You'll be more drawn to the actual shopping centre exterior rather than the interior. I mean, if you look at the rest of my buildings here, you don't pay much of attention to the interior, it's more the exterior. Now, I don't have a lot of resources at the moment. I've got to order some scale model scenery walling for the outside. Justin, you're getting an order. But I have got some bits that I can make the roof with now. So that's going to be my next target, is get this roof bit done. And I'm also going to make a sort of walkway along the middle there, a sort of ledge. The reason for doing the ledge is it'll actually provide support for the front when it comes on later on. I have to get that ledge exactly the correct width, however, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge, but I want to do that after I've got the roof on. The ledge itself will actually cross over here anyway, so the join in the ledge won't be here, it'll be probably here and here. So that's going to be my next couple of bits of challenge. I'm going to get the roof done first. Right, well, this is where we've got up to. I've got the roof put on like that. I'm not going to touch it now because it is actually still drying. However, that's the roof now on there, and what will happen is there'll be some brick walling will come round in there, and there'll be a panel put in here, but that'll be pre-wrapped with brick walling. I've also got the supports here for the this forms level 1 and ground level on the shopping centre, and I had to put them in for the simple reason that it would provide the support to the grey board that's going to be installed, and I'll probably have to put a sort of girder type one there too. I've also wrapped it in the magnolia wrap that scale model scenery sell. You might think that's a bit of an unusual move, but it was actually quite a rough. Although I was using a straight ruler to cut the board, when I actually took the bit off, it was quite a bit rough. So I thought of the idea of actually wrapping it, and that way it would actually provide a sort of smooth surface. So that's actually what's happened. It's not 100% straight, but it is actually on, and it will provide the support for the grey board. Now, what I'm going to do is show you, I have a bit. Here we are, a bit already, and it would sit on something about like that, and I'll have to actually carefully make sure where I put the names of the shops. So I'm thinking 2 windows there, and there'll be another 2 windows further along, and 2 windows on the last piece. I'll then be able to put some shop names in, and we'll have the Commonwealth Shopping Centre name on that bit there, and probably one of these along the top as per the rugby union ground. So this is where the project stops. I'm going to have to wait a week or so while Hornby delivers me some people who will be stuck in the shopping centre, and Justin Noble at Scale Model Scenery supplies me with my brick walling. But you won't have to wait that long, you'll just have to wait a couple of seconds where I show you what we're going to do next. Another day, another bit of progress. So I've printed off some shop signs from the 1990 era. These are 4 of them here, and I've got another 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sticking them onto here, and you'll notice some black marks. I'll show you why. The signs will be visible at the windows, you see. So if I get in there, you could just see the black marks. Now you won't see the full effect until obviously the signs are on. I've got an order, by the way, from Scale Model Scenery, some brick walling, so by the time we get to the next bit later on, after some more filming's done, we'll have proper walling to start putting the shopping centre together. And obviously that's my ledge now in place. Hopefully get a couple of people in it. I'll see how I go. I know the shop logos are quite big, but it's to catch the eye more than what this grey board does. I couldn't think of anything else to put on there as a sort of sneak material, because different shopping centres in 1990 had different interiors. The two main ones in Kirkcaldy at the time, the Postings and the Mercat, they had different interiors. I mean, they're much changed now, and I'm sure many shopping centres have had refurbishments over the years. I mean, only you think of likes of Eldon Square in Newcastle. So this is just a pure simple design. So that's me got 4 windows cut, but obviously I can't do anything with that until I get the SMS grey SMS walling, which we'll put round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these 4 logos cut out and get them along with the other 2, and they'll be getting stuck on somewhere on the layout, on the shopping centre. So the Wimpy and the Curry's logo will probably go on the top. There's also a Boots logo and a Littlewoods logo, so I think that the Littlewoods logo will go on the bottom along with the Boots logo. We'll get it all sorted out anyway. There we are, so that's the 6 shop names stuck on the side of the shopping centre, and I've also, while I've been at it, I've cut my second bit that will go along here. I'll sit about there, and you can see there the shop names, and I'll sit something like that. So there you go. I mean, the shop names are just visible, depends upon the angle that you're looking at it from, you see. Now what I'm also going to do is, using some of the spare scrap grey board I've got, I'm going to make a wee support pillar here. It'll be out of sight, so I won't need to worry too much about stuff on it, but I'll have to wrap it anyway so it gets a smooth fit. But it'll be out of sight, so it won't cause any obstruction. And I've also got a piece that I've got to try and make there for the walling. Now, that's going to be quite a difficult challenge, but I'm prepared to give it a go. And that'll be ready for the walling to go on there, and I'll have to put walling here with the Commonwealth Shopping Centre sign, but that's going to be more of which later on. I don't know whether I'll still have people in it or not, but I might have 1 or 2 figures sitting around somewhere, so I'm going to have a quick look anyway. So what I'll do now is I'll get on with that angle piece there and get the support pillar at that end, and then what we'll do is we'll take it from there to see where exactly we are. Just see there's 1 support pillar there, and I've got another one there, and I'll probably do 2 others. And here we have the 3 bits that will make up the exterior wall of the shopping centre, in the order that you'll actually see them, although that bit will go like that. So obviously now the project stops until the walling arrives from Scale Model Scenery and the lettering, and then we'll get back on with that. Now that's going to take a few days, but as I always say, by the miracle of YouTube, you'll only have to wait a few seconds to see what it's like. A little bit more progress. What I've done, I'm waiting on the postie delivering the stuff from Scale Model Scenery. That's the lettering and the walling. So if the Royal Mail could actually get their finger out, their do know what, then we might actually get somewhere. But what I've done is I've started adding in some figures into the shopping centre. So I'll just actually take this grey board here and show you how that should look. And you can just see the figures there. I've put a couple more support pillars on, but I'm going to now go and do a roof bit along here. And obviously I've got this bit here, which you can see it goes up to the socket there. So I'm going to have to be very careful about my sizing of the roof section. But the idea is that the roof section will go along to probably here. So it'll be in 2 lengths, and I've got some more of this SMS grey board that I can use on that, and then I'll wrap it in the felt that you see there, because I've got enough of that. That will then provide yet more support for when I am able to put the front panels on. And I'll add some more shoppers, and the observant amongst you will notice that some of the shoppers, well, in fact all of the shoppers, are very similar to those on the street scene. Unfortunately, Bachmann do not have a wide range of different types of people, so I am a bit restricted in that, but I've made a couple of small subtle changes. One of them you'll notice that you've got the gran here with her granddaughter. They'll be looking out the window at the trains going past. So we've got the businessman with his newspaper, similar to the one at the bus stop, and we've got the little shopper there. She's actually similar to the one looking in at the jewellery shop. So I've got some more figures to add, so I'll have one in each window effectively. And then what I'll do is I'll get the roof on, make the roof and get that on. Now by that time hopefully the Royal Mail will have delivered the stuff from Scale Model Scenery in Truro. So if you could just bear with me please. And by the way, you maybe just heard some banging there. That's a neighbour getting an extension built to their house. So this is not the only building project going on right now in this town. Well, I did ask the Royal Mail to get their finger out and deliver this stuff, and they duly obliged. As you can see, I've got the first bit on here, and I've added another couple of shoppers, and I've got one more to actually add on one of the windows, or maybe 2 more. But that is pretty much it in terms of the shoppers. I've added more support pillars. Now maybe add another one. I've also got the lettering that's arrived, so I've painted some of that. I'm not calling it the Commonwealth Shopping Centre. I'm going to call it the Postings. And that's actually after a now closed shopping centre in Kirkcaldy. So there's quite a bit to go yet, but that's the first part of the roof on. I haven't got the panel that goes along here because it's got the brick on it now. Incidentally, the link to all the stuff that I've used is actually below in the description. Yoo-hoo glue was purchased from the pound shop, although Scale Model Scenery, you might want to think about selling Yoo-hoo glue yourselves actually. I've got some brick walling I'm going to have to put on here, and then that bit will then need the Posting Shopping Centre sign on it, and then we can start getting the frontage on after I've got another couple of shoppers on and got the roof done. It is now starting to come on a bit, and obviously it's still not complete yet, but it is getting that way. These figures, by the way, are all from Bachmann. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the next bit done, which will be the first panel for here, and then we'll measure it all up, make sure it fits along with the other panel, make sure it all fits before then start sticking it. Well, it is getting ever closer now to being completed. That's this annex bit here done. I've got the sign to make. Now I've used a bit of grey board and I've painted it white, waiting on that paint drying. It's just acrylic paints, and I'll see how it looks. If it doesn't look right, I've got a plan B. Now the plan B is actually very simple. Cut another bit of grey board. I've got this here, but I'll use the reverse side of it, and then once it's glued on and dried, put the letters on it to the Posting Shopping Centre, and it'll sit round about there. I've had to put an extra bit in here to prop up this, but I've also got another customer in the shops there, so that is it virtually in terms of people that I need for the centre. So the next bit is to get the first piece of the jigsaw, as it were, together, and that'll be the first bit of the panelling, and it'll be this panel here. Now it is almost ready, so what I'll do is I'll go and get that cut And what I'm also going to do is, for the windows, this is actually one of the poly pockets that the stuff from Scale Model Senior is supplied in. I'm going to use this to make the window glass. Save buying sheets of plastic when you've already got the stuff there. So this is going to take another few minutes, but we're getting very, very close to the end. Now this first panel isn't glued onto the shopping centre yet, but it does give you an idea of how it's going to look. It's going to sit just above the roof, because what we could simulate there is a rooftop car park. And obviously in the future this cutting here in brickwork will get sorted out with some poly filler, or I may actually replace it with some stuff from Scale Model Scenery. Justin, you and your colleagues in Truro are bound to be loving me for all the plugs I'm giving you. But that's part of it there. Plan A with the shopping centre sign isn't going to work, so I'm going to do Plan B, and we'll get that sign made up. So we are getting there. Shop signs are visible, and you can just see it visible, the people walking past. The different height differentials for the ground floor and the first floor. What I now need to do is get that stuck on, get done with the other one, and then the exterior will only need the sign, and then we'll be finished. How I've done that, that's the SMS brick that I was telling you about. Once I've got the two bits glued on, because I need a second bit for there, I cut what was like a St Andrew's cross where the window spaces were, pushed them back and glued them on. Then the two pieces of poly from the lettering, the lettering came in, I've actually cut it in half and glued the two bits together on there, didn't cut them, and that's what's made the windows there. So it's now looking a bit better, but a lot of thoughts just occurred to me. I'm going to need to film some new opening titles. Well, that's the frontage almost done. We've just got this shopping centre sign to make up, and as it's getting towards 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, I've got rugby union to watch on BT Sport, so I'm going to take a breather from it and get the shopping centre sign done in the morning, and then it will really be all complete. I'll have to put some vegetation in here to hide that blue bit at the bottom there. So it's almost done, and you can see that the rooftop car park would be here. So that's been hidden from view. It's actually turned out quite well, I think, but it's more important what you think. Obviously one wee problem I've got is this bit here. But from how it seems to be so far, it looks to have all got glued on, no bother. So here's hoping. And you can see, as I say, some shoppers in the shopping centre now, and various shop names. And as I say, Plan B is what we'll use for the sign here. So it gives it a sort of 1980s feel of a new shopping centre that's been built. And as I say, we'll have to obviously add on other walling as well here eventually to replace this. It doesn't look right, but we have a shopping centre almost. So as I say, we'll get the sign done. That's the last thing that'll be done. It'll be getting put on here, and then that project will be complete. Whew. And there we have it, with its sign in place. That is the Posting Shopping Centre, complete now, here at Clydebridge Station. You can see the shoppers there, passing the windows, and the shop names as well. And it certainly is a better effort, in my own opinion, than what I previously had for a shopping centre, a low relief shopping centre. Now the links to all the stuff that I've used, as I say, are in the description below. And there's also a link to the Railway Modelers community website. It's free to join. There is also a paid section where you can get a lot of member benefits. I'm in the free section, so why not join that as well and try something like what I've done and post your photos of it on there, or even better, put them here on YouTube and let everybody see them. Well, the next video will be an update, November update from the layout, and it's going to concern this here, because this balsa wood is going to come off. I've got some grey board and a couple of concrete sheets that I can use to make this a bit better, but that's for the next video, so I'll see you then for that. And in the meantime, I hope this has inspired you to do something. Please take care of yourselves and enjoy your layouts, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.